Hey, have you ever questioned why things are happening the way they're happening in your life? Or maybe you feel frustrated, you think that things should be different in your life, but and you don't understand why things are going the way they're going. You have this expectation for something better or maybe something different, and you're wondering why you? Why is this happening? Sometimes we can all get frustrated. We have seasons in our life where we get frustrated. We don't understand what's going on and why is this happening. Sometimes you can actually feel lost and you just wonder, is there a purpose or meaning for my life? But I want you to think about the life of Moses, and I believe this will encourage you. As you think about Moses' life, we see how really God was directing and guiding him. So Moses was a baby. He gets displaced from his home. Pharaoh is killing all the babies, but his mom sees something special about him. So she makes this basket, puts him in it, sends him down the Nile River. Of course, she's following it. Pharaoh's daughter she discovers Moses and brings him in this Egyptian palace and actually hires his mom, she doesn't know this, hires his mom, a Hebrew, to take care of this Hebrew child. So while Moses is growing up in Pharaoh's home, in the palace, God arranged it to where his mother is actually going to nurture and care for and raise her own baby. That's incredible. But yet still there's a little discomfort there. He's pulled out of his culture. He's pulled out of the normal Hebrew life. And now, but what is happening? For 40 years, Moses, catch this, Moses is going to be trained, educated, and developed as a prince, an incredible Egyptian leader. He's going to learn all kinds of leadership skills. He's going to need this later on in his life, and he don't know this. His mom don't even know this. The next 40 years, what happened was Moses was defending a Hebrew and ends up killing an Egyptian. So this was outside of God's will. He made a horrible mistake. I mean, Moses really about messed his whole life up. So Moses has to leave Egypt. He runs for his life, and now for the next 40 years, he is in the land of Midian. Why is that significant? Here's why it's significant. Because he doesn't know this, but in the next season of his life, he's going to be leading almost 2 million people in a land that he's getting familiar with, in an area, in a region that he's getting familiar with. He doesn't know this, but he's going to be right back there. And so for 40 years, God is still continuing Moses' training in leadership and familiarizing himself with the area. God reveals himself in this area. It was close to Mount Horeb or Mount Sinai, where God shows up in a burning bush. For the first time, God reveals himself to Moses in this form, in this way, and he hears the voice of God in his life. So he discovers God in this next 40 years of his life. He goes back to Egypt. God sends him back to Egypt, and now he's going to be leading almost 2 million people in this same area, the same region where he spent 40 years. Now, I want you to think about this. God knows the plan and purpose for your life, and you may not understand why things may be uncomfortable. Things are not going the way you want them to go. But God knows what he's doing, and he can use every season of your life. I want you to think about three ways to look at your life. And we can see that in Moses' life, that Moses' life was almost broken down into 40-year segments. So there's one way that you can look at your life, and that God moves in seasons in your life. That is God growing you. That's development. In each season, there is development, there's growth. Second way to look at it is that God is writing a story, like chapters of your life, that each area of your life is in chapters, that God is writing a beautiful story. So the question is, do you trust God? Do you trust God to grow you in each season, no matter what is happening in your life, even in your mistakes, that God is growing me? Do you trust God to write a beautiful story for your life? Is he a great writer? Is God a great creator? Is he a great writer? Is he a great architect? Is he a great designer? Does God know how to write the most beautiful stories? Do you trust him in each chapter of your life? Thirdly, someone said, look at your life as links on a chain, that each season of your life is a link. And that God is, you know what that means to me? To me, that translates to strength in my life. A chain represents strength. It can be used in so many different ways that requires strength. And every link of your life, every season of your life, God is developing strength in you. The Bible says in Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me. Is God leading you? I say, yes, he is. You may not even know it. Moses didn't even know that this was the plan of God for his life. You may not understand what's going on. You may not like some of the things that's happening in that season or in that chapter or in that link. But God, if you put your hands in God, place your life in the hands of God, he will be sure to lead you. He leads me. The Lord is my shepherd, and he leads me. God is leading you. So don't be so focused on what's going wrong or the frustration. Be focused on the shepherd. Keep your eyes on the shepherd, and just be confident in this. In God's timing, the next chapter is coming. In God's timing, the next link, God's going to send me to the next link to be built in my life. In God's timing, this winter season will be over and spring is coming. New life, new growth, new productivity, new success, new favor in your life. Be encouraged today.